When you think about fresh water, you probably think of rivers, lakes, oceans, right? Of course. But what if the biggest untapped reservoir of drinking water isn't on the ground at all, but is literally floating all around us? Today, we're going to talk about some mind-bending new tech that can literally shake water right out of thin air.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? But it's a very serious question. You see, even in the driest deserts on Earth, the air still holds a certain amount of humidity. For years, scientists have been racking their brains trying to figure out an efficient way to capture that moisture and turn it into clean, drinkable water. And the potential here is just enormous, especially for places that really struggle with water scarcity.
The core idea has a pretty fancy name, atmospheric water harvesting. But don't let that fool you. The concept is pretty simple. It works by using these special superabsorbent materials. Think of them like high-tech sponges. They're called sorbents, and they're designed to just soak up humidity directly from the air around them. Now, the capturing part, that works great, but that's only half the battle.
Okay, so your super sponge is full of water. Now what? How do you get a drink from it? Well, the traditional method is pretty low-tech. You just let the sun do all the work. You leave the material out, it gets hot, and the water eventually evaporates out where you can then collect it. The problem? It is incredibly slow. We're talking hours, sometimes a whole day, just to get one batch of water.
And this right here, this is the central problem, the real bottleneck in this whole process. Getting the water into the sponge-like material, that's the easy part. The real challenge is convincing that material to let the water go. This whole heat it up and wait approach has really held back how useful these systems can be in the real world.
Svetlana Buryskina over at MIT put this paradox just perfectly. The very thing that makes a material amazing at grabbing moisture also makes it super stubborn about holding on to it. It's like this scientific tug-of-war, and for a long, long time, we were losing hours just waiting for the material to give up. But what if you didn't need to heat it? What if instead of waiting for the sun, you could just, well, shake the water out? This is the huge breakthrough from the engineers at MIT. They stopped trying to gently coax the water out with heat and instead turned to a force that's invisible, it's inaudible, but it is incredibly powerful: sound.
And the tool they used is ultrasound. You've probably heard about it from, medical imaging and things like that, but really, it's just sound waves that are vibrating at a frequency so ridiculously high that our ears can't pick it out. Think of it as a super precise, high-frequency vibration, and as it turns out, it is the perfect tool for this exact job.
So here's the key. Instead of using the brute force of the sun to boil the water out, this new device uses ultrasound to create these really precise vibrations. These sound waves are tuned to the exact frequency needed to break the bonds holding the water molecules to that spongy material. So it's not about heat anymore, it's all about rhythm. Honestly, the best way to picture this is to think of it like a water dance. The scientists figured out the exact beat that makes water molecules just want to get up and move. Let me show you how this little dance works, step by step.
It's really brilliantly simple. First, the sorbent material just does its thing. It soaks up moisture from the air until it can't hold anymore. Then, the ultrasonic device flicks on, sending those high-frequency waves pulsing right through it. The water molecules start to vibrate. They start to dance along with the waves. And this targeted movement gives them just enough energy to break free from the sorbent. And then finally, the vibrations literally shake that freed water out as tiny, collectible droplets. The best part? This whole show takes just minutes. Not hours, minutes. So what's the big deal here? Why does this matter so much? Well, this shift from a slow, passive system to a fast, active one completely changes the game for atmospheric water harvesting. This is about so much more than just speed. It's about making these systems truly practical and efficient. Get ready for this? 45 times. That's how much more efficient this new method is. That's not a small improvement. That is a complete and total game changer. It's a quantum leap in how much water you can actually pull out of the air in the same amount of time. Let's just break it down side by side. Recovery time, it drops from hours, maybe even a whole day, down to just minutes. And yeah, while the old method was passive, this new one does need a little bit of electricity, but it's so little that a small solar cell can easily handle it. But here's the real kicker. Because it's so fast, you can run multiple collection cycles every single day instead of just one. The total amount of water you can collect just skyrockets. So the vision for the future here is incredibly exciting. I mean, imagine a small solar-powered device, maybe the size of a window pane, just sitting there, providing fresh water for a household. And because the tech is so flexible, you can pair it with almost any kind of sorbent material out there. Now, scale that idea up, and you've got a vital new source of drinking water for entire communities in some of the driest parts of the world.
You know, for centuries, we've always looked down, to the ground, to rivers, to wells for water. But with innovations like this, we're starting to realize that a vast, sustainable reservoir might have been floating right over our heads this entire time. The question isn't if we can tap into it anymore. The question is, how fast can we scale this to change the world?